Okay, good morning. So today for our lesson, you guys are going to have to use the actual book. So you guys have to go into Google Classroom under topics and go to the book, the online version of the book. And this is where it'll take you. We need to go to Unit 7, Lesson 12. So it says, let's look at volume of prisms. So we're going to talk about volume today. Um, Then it says rectangles A, B, and C represent bases of three prisms. Okay? If each prism has the same height, which one would have the greatest volume and which one would have the least? So if they were the same units tall, let's say that they were all 2 units tall. So like A is 3 by 2, B is 4 by 2, and C is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 by 2. Okay. Which one would have the greatest volume? Well, hopefully you said C because C has the biggest base. Okay. And which one would have the least? It would be A because A has the smallest base. For problem 2, if each prism has the same volume, which one would have the tallest height and which one would have the shortest height? Well, if they all had the same volume, and I'm trying to think of something 3, 4, and 12 both go in, like, multiply to be, and I'd say 36. So if I did 36 divided by 12, I would find that the height of C is 3. If I did 36 divided by 4, I would know that my height of B is 9. And if I did 36 divided by 3, I'd know my height of A was 12. So the tallest one would be A in this case, and C would be the shortest. Good. All right. So 12.2. Now, the directions on here are going to look slightly different than the directions on yours. It explains the applet. This applet has 64 snap cubes, all sitting in the same spot on the screen, like a hidden stack of blocks. You will always know where the stack is because it sits on a gray square. You can keep dragging blocks out of the pile by the red points. So you can drag them out by the red points until you have enough to build what you want. Click on the red points to change from left or right movement up or down. So you can click on these. See how they move. Okay. There is also a shape on the grid. It marks the footprint of the shapes you will be building. So it's kind of like what you're building. So now we're actually getting into the activity. Using the face of the snap cube as your unit area, what is the area of the shape? Explain or show your reasoning. Okay, so we have to put all the cubes out here. So take and move the cubes. All right, move all the cubes until it's all full. Okay, so go ahead. Okay, so I put all my snap cubes on there. Oops, it looks like this one got away. All right, and then it's asking, so I flipped this up because I was having struggles with getting these together properly. Anyways, so it's asking what the area is of this face here. Why does that one not like to go there? Anyhow, I was having trouble earlier doing that, and I had to reset the whole thing because it wasn't going in. See, I reset it right here. So in case you guys are having that same problem, if you push the reset button and start over, it's fine. Okay, so what is the area of this shape? Well, this base shape right here, there's 9 here, 9 here, and 9 here. So that's 27 cubes. So that's the answer to number 1, 27. Number 2, use the snap cubes to build the shape from the paper. Add another layer of cubes on top of the shape you had built. Describe the three-dimensional object. So go ahead, and what you're going to do is just add a whole nother layer like this. Okay? So I'm going to pause the video. You guys pause the video, add your shapes. All right, guys, so I've tried really hard to get the figure to build a second on top of it, and I cannot do it. So if you guys figure out how to do that, email me and let me know, because I'm struggling with it. I cannot get another shape on top of it. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but it should be able to be done. So if you figure it out, let me know. So it says, add another layer of cubes on top of the shape you have built. Describe this three-dimensional object. Well, the three-dimensional object then would just be a prism with an L shape. It's a prism because all of the sides are rectangles. All right, so then let's go down to 3. What would the volume of this be? So we knew that the bottom, the base, was 27. So we take the area of the base, which is 27, times the height. And since we built it 2 up, 27 times 2 would be 54. So number 3 would be 54, because 27 times 2 is 54. Right now, your object has a height of 2 because we made it too tall. What would the volume be if it had a height of 5? Well, again, you take the area of the base, which we found was 27, and you multiply it by the height, which in this case is 5. 27 times 5 is 135. And for B, what if the height was 8.5? So you figure it out. And 27 times 8.5, you should have gotten 229.5. Make sure you wrote all of your answers down in here. All right. So 12.3, can you find the volume? Your teacher will give you a set of three-dimensional figures. So the applet has a set of three-dimensional figures. For each figure, determine whether the shape is a prism. For each prism, find the area of the base, find the height, and calculate the volume. So you've got figure A, B, C, D, blah, blah, blah. And this is all what you're filling out. So make sure you fill it out as we go. Choose a figure using the slider. Well, obviously this is going to be figure A. Rotate the view. Note that each polyhedron, that's just your three-dimensional figure, has only one label per unique face. Where no measurements are shown, the faces are identical copies. So that means they're the same. Use the distance tool marked by the centimeter to click on any segment to find the length or height. So we'll use that. All right. So here is your cube. Here it is. And that must mean all the faces are equal. So is this a prism? Is this a prism? Well, yes. And let's just check. We can check to see. I was going to check to see if the sides were the same. All right. So the base area is 25 centimeters squared. That would mean each side is going to be 5. See how it says 5? There. You must click the centimeter thing first, then this. So each side is 5. So for the volume, hold on, let's go back up to our table. So first off, is this a prism? Yes. The area of the base, they give that to us. They said that it was 25 centimeters squared. The height of it then is 5. Okay, the height. So put 5 for height. Now, then the volume is 25. So you had 25 times 5, 125. All right, I want you guys to pause the video and try to do B. So pause the video, try to do B. All right, so B, the first question they're asking you, is this a prism? Well, you're going to put yes. Now, the reason that this is a prism, remember, prisms have different kinds of bases, which this base is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-sided figure, so it's a pentagonal prism. But it has faces right here, these faces that are rectangles, okay? So it asks for the area of the base, which is 15. So on B, put 15. And then the height, so now we got to go back through and we've got to find the height, which again is 15. Okay, so your base was 15, your height is 15, and your volume then, 15 times 15 is 225. All right, figure C. So let's go on to figure C. Oops, there we go. All right. Now this one has the area of the base. So up here, first off, is this a prism? No, it is not a prism. So no, it's not a prism, and that's because all of these faces here are triangles. So since it's not a prism, we get to skip it. Let's look at D. Okay, is this a prism? Well, they have bases that are triangles, but all of those other faces are rectangles. So yes, it's a prism. Now here's the hard thing. It's giving us all of these different measurements. We just want to know what the area of the base is, which is right here, the triangle, which looks to be 24 centimeters. They're giving us the area of every single face. We just wanted the area of the base, which is 24. So D, yes, the area of the base is 24. Now we need to find the height. So I need to tilt this guy around a little bit more to figure out how tall it is. So I stood it on its base so I could find the height, which is 6. So 6 goes here, 24 times 6, and we should have 144. All right, now for E. E, is this a prism? Well, look around. Is it a prism? I would say at its entirety, no. It's very weird because it's got, there we go. So it's got 2 different bases and it's like a figure that's connected. So 2 different figures connected. So I'm going to go with no. So we don't have to do E. F, is this a prism? Well, of course it is. It's got all the bases that are rectangles. Okay. And it's got your lateral face or your bases, which are also rectangles. So what is the area of the base? Well, here's your base. It's this big figure right here, and it's 35 centimeters squared. Now I'm going to tilt that back up. Good. All right, so 35 goes here. Now what's the height? So we have to figure out what the height is. So there's our centimeter tool. Oopsies. All right, I don't know if I'm finding the height or not. Three. Okay, so it's 35 and 3, so 35 times 3, and you get 105. Okay, good. We're not doing the are you ready for more? What is the prism's height? All right, order the prisms. Oh, I'm sorry. There are 4 different prisms that have the same volume. Here is the base of what each of them looks like. Order the prisms from shortest to tallest. So they all have the same volume. Which one would be the shortest? Which one would be the tallest? Now remember earlier when we did this, the shortest one had the biggest area for the base. Okay? So I would say the very, very shortest. The very, very shortest, because it says shortest to tallest. So the shortest one with the biggest base is going to be C. And then the next shortest would be A, because that has the next biggest base. And then B, and then D. So C, A, B, D. Now it says, if the volume of each prism is 60 units, what would the height be? So you need to know what the area of each of these are. And I guess maybe if I would have found that to begin with. So this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this one is 8. This one, 1, 2. Well, we can find the area of the triangle, 1/2 base times height. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. 4 times 3 is 12. Half of that is 6. So the area is 6. And for C, well, I would cut this, and then we have 2 trapezoids that are the same. So it's base 1 plus base 2 times 1/2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 times 1/2. So 7 times 1/2 is 3.5, and then times it by the height of it, which is right here, 2, which is 7. Now, that means this side is 7, and this side is 7. So in total, the base is 14. And D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So now, if each of them have 60 units, what would the height of each prism be? So for A, so 60 divided by 8, you should have 7.5. So A would be 7.5. B, 60 divided by 6, that would be 10. And then here, 60 divided by 14, and that would be about 4.2. And then the last one, 60 divided by 5, and you'd get 12. Okay. For a volume other than 60, what would the height of each prism be? Well, instead of 60, why don't we do 120? So take 120, divide it by each of these. So for A, 120 divided by 8, you should get 15. For B, 120 divided by 6, you should get 20. For C, 120 divided by 14, 8.4. And 120 divided by 5, that would be 24. And you don't need to do number 4 because we don't have partners. Okay, that was great, guys. So please make sure you read the lesson summary. Do and redo any of your exit tickets. And if you have any questions, please make sure that you email me to let me know. Have a great rest of your day, and goodbye.